Hey everybody, what's going on? Aaron here. So what's going on with the market? Well, when you're watching this today, Trump is going to announce some massive tariff updates, which could rock the market. Liberation Day, as he's calling it. So I'm going to talk about some stories, what I'm seeing, how I'm trading, what's going on right now. So Bitcoin, $84,000. The winners over the last 24 hours. Some coins that usually when they're in the top, it's not a great sign, right? We're seeing bonk up. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. The first right now, Grayscale filed an S3 for a digital large cap ETF. So just more financial products coming to the market. This is going to be a crypto index fund, which I think is pretty cool. Buying an ETF that holds Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Solana, and ADA. Let me know what you think in the comments. Some big news happening tomorrow with Brian Armstrong of Coinbase in Washington this week talking about stablecoins and how important that is. And ironically, right here, we have Circle. That is the company that is associated with actually Coinbase and also USDC stablecoin. They are going public. They announced their S1. So this is good news in my opinion. All this noise that's happening with the tariffs and the economy and all this stuff, there's all this information. There's all these events happening in the background. And one thing that's interesting is that gold's market cap is around $21 trillion. Bitcoin's market cap is around $1.7 trillion. And I believe that Bitcoin is a better version of gold, right? It does everything gold can do and more. If Bitcoin reaches just 1/4 of gold's market cap, that would mean a $250,000 Bitcoin, all right? So there's a lot to be excited about. I'm still very bullish right here. This is the price of Bitcoin on every single April Fool's Day. So just take a look at this. It would have made sense on any other April Fool's Day to buy Bitcoin. So it's important to zoom out and just realize that, we are still going up and changing tunes a little bit. This is the S&P 500. And I think it's just really important to remember that when you zoom out, these little dips that we're seeing in the S&P, really not a big deal, right? We're down 11% in the S&P. When you zoom out far enough, going back 2009 to now, the S&P is up quite a lot, 758%. So Bitcoin's chart is similar when you zoom out far enough. Just going back a few years when Bitcoin was $4,000, it's now up 22x, right? So important to remember that because a lot of people get very, very nervous when they look at this current dip in the price of Bitcoin. But I really, really don't think we need to be getting nervous, or at least I'm not, right? So Bitcoin's high to where it is now. It's down around, 23 to 24% or so, which is not an uncommon dip for Bitcoin. It's very, very common to have dips like this for Bitcoin. Altcoins obviously are experiencing a greater dip. Here's Solana down around 57%. XRP is going to be a little bit less of a dip. Let's take a look. But again, these are all very, very normal. I'll share that in just a moment why. So XRP is down 38%, which feels, for people that, aped in right here when XRP was over $3, yeah, it feels crappy. But the reality is that, again, this is just what happens, right? This is very, very common. So this is Bitcoin's percentage drawdown from the all-time highs. And we can see here, this dip is really not a big deal. This is where we are right now. We're down around 20% from the all-time high, which we hit January 20th or so of 2025. We hit a bigger dip of around 25%. But again, taking a look at the entire crypto market, take a look at some of these dips we've experienced, even when we were going up in price. So this is 2017. We saw many, many dips, a 36% dip. Then we saw another 36% dip earlier in the year. 27% dip, a 29% dip. You get the point, right? And this is while the price of Bitcoin went from $500 all the way to $20,000 or almost $20,000. We saw massive, massive dips on the way up. This is why it's really important to remember that dips happen. Dips happen. This is over on BTCC. If you want to pick up some bonuses, you can totally do so. And this is XRP. And again, I've harped on this for a long time. XRP at $2 is, I think, a really, really great entry. You can see this support level where we just kind of skim it, but we don't actually touch it. So $2 XRP, I got limit orders on many, many exchanges like I've talked about for a while. And taking a look at Bitcoin really quick. So this is Bitcoin dominance. And Anytime there is uncertainty in the market, Bitcoin dominance goes higher, and also gold is going higher, right? So Bitcoin dominance and the price of gold seem to correlate quite a bit. So this is gold. This is gold. Let's start right here, November of 2022. So gold is up around 91% from October or so of 2022. And then Bitcoin dominance from around that same time period is up around 55%. So you can see Bitcoin dominance tracking up and up and up, more or less, and also gold tracking up and up and up. So that makes sense, right? There is a correlation there. When there is fear in the market, when people are uncertain about the economy, they go to gold, and they also transition their altcoins into Bitcoin and into stablecoins. So one thing that a lot of people are waiting for, and this chart is on Into the Cryptoverse, link below if you'd like to get this website with a lot of their charts. A lot of people are waiting for YouTube views to come back. So will we get the amount of YouTube views on crypto YouTube stations like we saw in 2021? Well, we're not even close, right? We're really not even close. The latest is around 843,000 views, and we can see the high back in 2021, it was around 4 million views. So a lot of people believe that the next leg of the bull market, especially for altcoins, will happen when the economy gets worse enough that the Fed prints money or essentially injects liquidity, and that can happen when things get worse, right? When they have a reason to lower interest rates as well, when they can officially begin quantitative easing. And then that'll probably be a good indicator of when retail will heavily come in like they did in 2021. Now, will we see that? I believe we will. I don't believe that 2021 was the peak for the attention that crypto is going to get. Absolutely not. I think we need to wait until the Fed makes up its mind regarding what it's going to do regarding inflation, interest rates, liquidity, etc. And we'll see what happens for the rest of this week. There's a lot of news coming out with tariffs, and Trump is shaking things up. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. He is shaking things up right now. So that is it for the video, guys. I'll end it there. If you want to grab some bonuses on BTCC, you can do so. Really low trading fees. Tons of bonuses if you'd like to pick those up. I hope you guys are doing well. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.